So the meeting is recorded. So for those that would like to share the meeting information that's not able to attend on this evening, there will be other opportunities to hear the recordings on today, but also we will have a question and answer sessions town hall meeting the week of the 19th and the week of the 26th. The week of the 20th, that may shift a little bit, but we'll just play that by ear. But as of right now, we will have two additional meetings. Those additional meetings will consist of you being able to ask questions, to propose questions to the candidates, and that way you can learn more about them. But this meeting on this evening will be to meet the candidates. So what we'll do, we'll go down each candidate for the position that they're running for, let you hear a little bit about them, and we'll just go from there. So, I'm sorry. My name is Tremara Simmons. I am class of 1992, electrical engineering, and I am the chair of the nominating committee. I have Raymond Holly, who's also the chair for the nomination committee for the Prairie View National Alumni Association. We have Trinice. She's out of the Washington, D.C. chapter. She's on this committee. Jacqueline McWinfro. She's out of the Dallas chapter. We have Alvin Scott. And we have Joe. Alvin is out of the Fort Worth chapter. We have Joe Clay out of the Houston chapter. And we have Dr. Cheryl Jefferson that is out of the Houston chapter. Various graduation years from the university. And so we have coming to the tail end from the nominations committee to present you to each of our candidates. If you have a question, just raise your hand. Raymond Hall, if you can help me to keep track on the hands just in case I may miss some. And then also you can put your information in the chat and we'll be monitoring that. Again, this is very informal, so just feel free to put information in the chat and we will proceed. So do we have Roosevelt Huggins? I see Roosevelt, who is running for the candidate of president. And so Roosevelt, I will turn the mic over to you.
Sure. Thanks, Tamara, and good evening, everyone. Hopefully, y'all can see me. I can't tell if I could be seen or not, but
We can see you.
okay, great. Again, for those that do know me or those that don't know me, my name is Roosevelt Huggins. I'm a class of 1992. I've been involved with the National Alumni Association at a local and national level probably for over 20 years. I'm married. My wife went to Prairie View. I have three children, where two of them went to Prairie View, or they're actually attending Prairie View now. Um, I reside in the Cypress area. As far as my other background, I grew up in Killeen, Texas, and, and to be honest with you, never thought I would be going to Prairie View. But they sent me some money in the mail, and there I was, and the rest is history. It definitely has been a fundamental reason and foundational reason for my life in terms of things I've progressed in as an adult. Like I have a lot of lifelong friends from Prairie View. I I believe it's probably the hidden gem of the HBCU and of colleges in Texas in general. I mean, most of you have seen our campus, you've seen the activities, the types of students we put out. It is just truly amazing. And so, as president, I hope to perpetuate that even further and perpetuate the alumni spirit and the alumni camaraderie as president. Um, as far as work, the only thing I did leave out is my work. I work for a company called Black and Beach. It's a engineering and construction firm. I'm a vice president there. So in the background is marketing and sales, along with engineering is what I've been kind of trained to do. So my skill set is, project management, organization, and also, thinking of how to bring solutions to clients. So I think I could use that in this alumni role as well. So that's me in a nutshell. Pretty happy guy. Always involved in athletics You probably see me at every game. I've been a season ticket holder for at least 20 years. Even when I didn't live in Texas, I was a season ticket holder, and so I really am passionate about what Prairie View does. I'll leave it at that.
All right, thank you for that, Roosevelt. And then also Roosevelt, he's a member of the Prairie View A&M National Alumni Association Houston chapter.
Yep.
Um, and so for those, and I forgot to mention, so for those that's on the call, the National Alumni Association updated their constitution and bylaws for um, those candidates that desire or wish to run for office. So one of those um, objective to run for office is that you must be a part of a chapter. It is very important. You receive a lot of information, but it's also just an integral part of being a part of the university, having being in the know, having the information, but also just having that camaraderie of being part of a chapter. We have several chapter presidents that is on the line with us tonight. We have Karen Saunier, she's with the Missouri City chapter. I know Kellen Collins, she's with the Dallas chapter. Eureka Fano, who's also with the Johnson Space Center chapter. And I am looking if there's anyone else. I think I saw Beverly Hatchett. She's the president of the Houston chapter. So for all of those that's not part of a chapter, I encourage you to be a part of a chapter. And someone may say, well, there's not a local chapter in my area. Reach out to the National Alumni Association. We can connect you to a chapter that's closest in your proximity. So just having that information available, but also be mindset that um, we need your support. We want to hear from you. We want you to be a part, not just on the national level, but also on the local level. And then if we have, and so I will get off my soapbox and I will move on to the next slide, which is Erica Wright, and she's the candidate for vice president. And Miss Erica Wright, I believe I saw you on the call, and I will turn the mic over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Tamar, for that. Let me cut my volume up. I feel like I'm kind of low. All right. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out this evening. Thank you for having me. And again, I am Erica Wright, candidate for vice president. I am a member of the Dallas Prairie View Alumni Chapter, class of 1993. In accounting, I was one of them Hobart Taylor babies, walking across that campus every day. I am excited to be here. Have been involved with the National Alumni Association probably for about the last 3 years. I was appointed to VP last May of 2025 because of the vacancy that the office held. I did not know what it entailed at that time. I was definitely happy for the opportunity and truly humbled that I was even asked. And in the Dallas chapter, I have been involved probably for about the last 8 years. I currently serve as the treasurer. I have been the financial secretary. I am the event planner right now, and just whatever else Kelly Collins have me do. But I am truly excited to be here. I know that the NAA, there is a lot to offer, and I am truly excited and hope to have the opportunity to see where we can go and to make a difference in what we do for our university at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Erica. And what I have done, I've also put in the chat for everyone, is the website for the Prairie View National Alumni Association. So for those that would like to see or receive more information, then please visit the website. I particularly am not a fond of the Panther in the suit, but that's okay. But also if you want to be a part of a chapter, if you would like to receive more information, about the alumni chapters and what great things that the National Alumni Association is doing. Just visit that link that I just put into the chat and get more information. And thank you again, Miss Erica. Next, we will spotlight Miss Yvonne Lewis. She's candidate for treasurer.
Hello, I'm Yvonne Lewis, class of 1996. I was one of those babies that got a free ride and stayed there for 6 years. My parents had to tell me to leave. So I got 2 degrees, mathematics and computer science. And I currently work at NASA. By the ways of Boeing, by the ways of all points. I was appointed your treasurer in March of 2024. I am now running for this position of 2025, 2027. I have been trying to keep us in the green, which we have been, also trying to make us more revenue, which I'm in the process of doing. And I would like for you to re-elect me or elect me this time to finish off what I was doing, to keep us in the green, get us some more revenue in, get our office all cleaned up and set up, and get it up and running and rent it out again like it used to be, striving and things. And so I just appreciate your support. Thank you very much for having me. That is it.
Thank you, Yvonne. And Yvonne is also a member of the Johnson Space Center chapter. And I see in the chat Dr. Tanisha, president of the Fort Worth chapter. So thank you for joining the call as well. So it's great to have the support of the presidents to join this meeting. And again, it is because of the chapters and the chapter presidents to encourage and train and motivate and have the dialogue that we're able to have today with our candidates. I've also be remiss if I did not, if you have not, leading after the treasurer, is to please donate. Donate to our National Alumni Association. I know this is not part of the call. This is not the Baptist Church where we're always asking you for money, but today we will ask you to donate. If you can donate $1, $5, $10, whatever your heart may hold. And that is because we have so many students that is in need of financial need. So if your heart touches you, to please feel free to donate.
According to what Sarah Beatrice has said, that is not correct according to Robert's Rules of Order. But if you'd like, we can reconsider the motion.
Tamara, can you mute Pamela Holmes?
Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. So next, what we have is Dale Roberson. Is Dale on the call? Dale Roberson, are you on the call? Going once, going twice, Dale Roberson. So Dale Roberson is not on the call. Dale Roberson, he's the candidate for financial secretary. He's a member of the Prairie View A&M National Houston chapter. He's class of 1986 and his major was engineering. Dale Roberson is running for financial secretary. And then we also have Dwayne Martin, the president of the Atlanta chapter, is on the call as well. So thank you, Dwayne, for joining all the way from Atlanta. Next, we have Dr. Alicia Kizzy. Is Dr. Alicia Kizzy on the call? Dr. Alicia Kizzy.
Yes, I am here.
Okay. I will turn the floor over to you.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I do apologize for the background noise as I am preparing for my graduation ceremony and commencement for this upcoming week. So my apologies for not being also on camera, but I am the candidate for the secretary for our National Alumni Association. And I am running on the platform of unification. I would like to see more unity between our local chapters as well as with our national chapter. And I certainly do appreciate your support. I have quite a bit of experience in serving in the position as secretary, as I have served for the past 4 years as the secretary of the Houston local chapter of our National Association, Alumni Association, excuse me. So certainly would like to continue to share my talents in that regard, as well as continue to work in the realm of financial support and fundraising for our students at Prairie View A&M University, as well as for the faculty and staff, and being in support of the leadership of the university as well. So thank you for having me this evening. And again, I do apologize for the background noise.
All right, thank you, Dr. Alicia Kizzy. Next, we have,
Tramar, Dwayne wrote
yes,
in the chat that he's online.
Dwayne Martin,
Yes.
that he's on the line for, Dwayne Martin online for,
Oh, I thought you said he was running for something and you had called him before and you called it Lizzie.
Dale Roberson. I acknowledge Dwayne Martin to be the chapter president for the Atlanta chapter.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so next we have Pamela Baker Holmes. She's the candidate for parliamentarian. Miss Pamela Baker.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry for the interruption earlier.
That's
I
okay.
am a
We heard you
member.
putting your parliamentary procedures in place.
I am a member of the Missouri City chapter. I am currently the vice president, and I also hold the office of parliamentarian. I am a member of the class of 1976, so I am very, what do you want to say, seasoned. And I am retired, so I do have the time to donate, to give to the Alumni Association. And I do believe in parliamentary excellence, and I am here to serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Pamela. Thank you for that. And next we will have another candidate for parliamentarian, and that is Frederick V. Roberts, candidate for parliamentarian. Mr. Roberts, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to join you this evening and introduce myself to some and reintroduce myself to others who may not know me. I am Frederick Roberts. I'm a 77 graduate from Prairie View A&M University, and I've been active with the National Alumni Association for the past 51 years. I would venture to say that I was active in the organization even before I graduated from Prairie View. I served as secretary for the association on a number of years, also served as parliamentarian a number of years, and then I took a break from holding office and came back, and I'm running for re-election as a parliamentarian. I believe that I have provided the service necessary to continue the organization moving in the vein that it should by respecting everybody. Plans when I won for parliamentarian about 15 years ago, we put on a workshop called Parliamentary Etiquette. And that's something that I will plan to bring back, serving as your parliamentarian. I am a member of I'm the parliamentarian for the Prairie View Local Alumni Association, and I serve as parliamentarian for a number of other organizations. And so my goal is to continue the professionalism and conduct of the meetings with your support, and I ask for your vote when the time comes for the vote. I would like to continue serving in the capacity of parliamentarian for the National Alumni Association. And I thank you for that opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, Freddie Roberts. Next we have is David Allen. He's running for candidate for historian. Mr. Allen, are you on the call?
I am, ma'am. Can you hear me okay?
We can, yes, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, all. It's a pleasure to meet some, and certainly like my classmate Freddie Roberts, I've been around for a minute. Came to Prairie View in June of '83 on engineering scholarship, switched to business and went through Army ROTC, got commissioned, and was actually the last one to finish the federal government's Army Flight School program from Prairie View before they shut it down nationwide, and obtaining my private pilot's license. One of the things I'd like to say is the activity, even back on the campus. I was obviously active in Army ROTC, the recruiter rifle team, counter guerrillas, but also I joined the NAA after getting out of the Army and relocating to Los Angeles in 1984. I joined the LA chapter and I became a life member in 1986, also while in Los Angeles, active with the NAA under the likes of Calvin Rollart, George Higgs, Judge Bedford, Clem Daniels, and a lot of the other elders back then. I ultimately became the president of the Los Angeles chapter and saw we were losing some members, and they were donors and ticket sellers, not just buyers. So I got with President Becton, found out that the chapter could actually have a chapter scholarship endowment similar to what the NAA had back then, and came back out with my people. And long story short, we were able to raise $120,000 in an account at Prairie View, in addition to 5 $2,000 a year scholarships for students. And the goal was $200,000, and we didn't reach it then, but it is well over $200,000 now. I was the founder of King Solomon Black College Tour, bringing 100 to 200 students to Prairie View, as well as Grambling, Southern, Spelman, finishing up at Howard in Washington, D.C. I was actually recognized by former provost, Dr. Joanna Thomas Smith, as the #1 recruiter of students in Prairie View's history. I didn't shoot for that, but it was a proud goal. I convinced my students, if you're smart, you'll go to my school. I don't know those people at the other schools. I was a former franchise consultant from a business standpoint with 7-Eleven Corporation, which was I think, still the largest franchisor in the world, as well as running the Los Angeles NAACP. I also was the administrator of a civil rights employment discrimination law firm at the Wilshire Highland building, across the hall from Attorney Johnny Cochran's office. I've been a legal broker since 1993. Spent 21 years in Los Angeles, then 3 years over in Germany, traveling over Europe, came back to Prairie View and decided to try to assist what I could in the city with the experience that I had, and became mayor, and was blessed to bring in quite a few things into the city. And we're currently working on a few other large projects now, a 625 new home development on the back side of the university. It's 161 acres. It's already been commissioned, land's already purchased, in addition to a $500 million manufacturing plant that's going in across Old Business 290 and a little down from the NAA house. And I also, when we were looking to finalize things, we were in Chicago, and I believe it was Sam Metters that was coming in at the time. And I got with some of my people at the chapter, and we sort of led the charge in raising the final $100,000 to pay off the mortgage. And, we were blessed that most of those pledges came through and we paid off the bill. But with that, Ms. Tremira, I'll give it back to you, ma'am. Oh, and I'm a member of the Houston chapter. I've been a member of a few chapters. After I came from LA, I joined the San Antonio chapter. And for a little bit, I was a member of a local chapter. I was with the athletic club here after I came back with George Higgs. And more recently, last few years, I've been with the Houston chapter. Back to you, ma'am.
Thank you, David Allen. And last but not least, we have Eureka Fontenot. She's the candidate for chaplain. Eureka, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Yeah, the first shall be the last and the last shall be the first. So greetings everyone from the Prairie View NAA Johnson Space Center chapter, where I serve as the president of the Johnson Space Center chapter for the past 2 terms. I'm ending my term this year prayerfully. I am a member, I'm a class of 1989, Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, and I also have a master's degree from Webster University in Computer Information and Resource Management. I have worked for the Boeing Company. Actually, that's the only job I've had since I left Prairie View for the past 32 years. I've worked for the Boeing Company in various assignments, but my current assignment, I'm connected to the Houston site, worked in the space program, and now I just support their PDM systems, testing and evaluating the software that the engineers use. I am an ordained minister at To God Be the Glory International Worship Center in Texas City, Texas. And I serve as a Sunday school teacher for the youth department. And I'm also Wednesday night Bible studies. I believe that prayer changes every situation. And I believe that this organization has benefited definitely this year from our chaplain, Lalani, this year. She's really brought a different vibe, a different atmosphere into the meetings and things like that, that I feel like it's been much needed. So I desire to continue that, bring that same energy, that same spirit, that same peace into the organization so that we can be productive in the handling of the National Alumni Association business. I used to say I bleed purple and gold. My father was a Prairie View graduate. He died in 2008. My uncles are all Prairie View graduates in engineering. My children have graduated from Prairie View. I have 3 daughters. 2 of them went to Prairie View, and one of them went to Texas State. I gave her a pass. But I love Prairie View. I used to say I bleed purple and gold until I joined the National Alumni Association and realized that there are people that were a whole lot more invested in Prairie View than I was. But I do desire to give my time, talent, and treasures to the organization, as well as serve and give back to the university. And I would like to do that as the candidate for chaplain. And I would love to have your vote and support. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Eureka. So at this point, that was all the candidates. And we can go back. Is Dale Robeson on the call? I think Dale was the only person. Is Dale Robeson on the call? Okay, he is not. So I will take this moment just for everyone, since we're doing well on time, to read Article 6 of the Officers of the Association. So there's like a page and a half, but I will go through this real briefly. So the Section 1, elected officers. The officers of the association shall consist of the president, chair of the board of the directors, vice president, secretary, treasurer, financial secretary, parliamentarian, historian, and chaplain. So those are the positions that you just heard from the various candidates. Board of Directors, Section 2. The affairs of the association shall be managed by the Board of Directors, hereinafter referred to as Board of Directors, which shall be composed of the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, financial secretary, parliamentarian, historian, chaplain, one representative from each financial chapter, class, or club registered with the association on September 1st of each year, and immediate past president of the board. So as we had spoke about the various presidents that's on there, they typically will serve as that representative from each financial chapter. Section 3, Executive Committee. The Executive Committee shall be composed of all elected officers of the association: President, Chair of the Board of Directors, Vice President, Secretary, Treasurer, Financial Secretary, Parliamentarian, Historian, and Chaplain. The Executive Committee shall have no authority to alter, change, or amend any action taken by the Board of Directors. Any meeting call must be chaired by an elected officer and not a president of the chapter, club, or class. Article 7, Duties and Descriptions of Elected Officers. Section 1, President/Chair of the Board of Directors. The President, Chair of the Board of Directors, shall be the presiding officer of the association and shall preside over all meetings of the Board of Directors, including the Executive Committee of the association. The President may appoint an advisory board as he deems necessary, and they are not voting members of the Board of Directors. Section 2, Vice President. The Vice President shall be the assistant of the President, Chair of the Board of Directors, and shall perform such other duties as may be assigned by the Board of Directors or set forth in the bylaws of this association. Section 3, Secretary. The Secretary shall be the administrative officer of the association. The Secretary will be responsible for recording the minutes of the Board of Directors and the Executive Committee meetings and perform such other duties as the bylaws of the association may preside. Section 4, Treasurer. The Treasurer shall be responsible for managing the funds of the association and is primarily responsible for funding. He or she shall manage funds and give bond in an amount to be determined by the Board of Directors. The Treasurer is responsible for giving a financial report at each Board of Directors meeting and upon the request of the President. The report must show all expenditures and balances. The Treasurer shall serve as the Chair of the Budget Committee. Financial Secretary. The Financial Secretary is the leading accounting executive of the association. The duties of the Financial Secretary should manage all incoming funds, in other words, recording deposits and reporting. The Financial Secretary should give a report to the board detailing all of the money received. The duties of the office are to also provide financial leadership and is instrumental in informing accounting strategies to provide broad visionary responsibilities and championing financial status and conditions of the association. The Financial Secretary shall serve as the chair of the Finance Committee. Section 6, Parliamentarian. The parliamentarian shall be responsible for providing guidance to the President, Chair of the Board of Parliamentary Procedures. The parliamentarian shall serve as the chair of the Constitution and Bylaws Committee and shall receive proposed amendments from the chapter clubs and classes and officers as prepared by Article 15 of the Constitution and bylaws of the association and in the Policy and Procedures Manual. Section 7, Historian. The historian shall keep, collect, and preserve an accurate history materials of the association and its chapters. Place new items concerning the association in the association newsletter, photograph, media publication, as well as online. Make an annual report on the association matters of historical importance and help with public relations for the association, such as announcing new members, donors, associating chapters, events, knowledge, and alumni accomplishment. Section 9, the chaplain shall coordinate and direct all religious activities of the association. And then Section 10, appointed position. Any appointed position not listed in Article 6, Section 1 through 9 must be approved by the Board of Directors and does not have any voting rights in the association. So this is the new Constitution and bylaws. I think this particular section has not changed. If so, we will make sure that this information has been uploaded to the Prairie View National Alumni site. So at this time, we will open up the floor for any questions. I will ask one more time, is Dale Robeson on the line? Is Dale Robeson on the line? If not, if any of the chapter presidents, I think I saw someone else, Kelly Collins, Karen Baker, Sonia, if any of the presidents or anyone who have served in any of these roles prior to this nominations, if you would like to speak or have some words for our candidates, the floor is open. I think Jonathan, are you with a chapter? I think I saw something for Jonathan.
Well, hello, everybody. Hey, this is Steve Suber from the Detroit chapter. I'd just like to congratulate all the candidates who are stepping up to help lead the NAA and its new direction. So, hey, look forward to definitely supporting whatever activities that the NAA carries out.
All right, thank you, Steve. And for many of you, if you have not been aware that the Detroit chapter is one of our newest chapters for the National Alumni Association. Karen Baker-Saunier.
Good evening, everyone. I was voluntold on several occasions to serve in the role as parliamentarian. So for the two candidates that are running for parliamentarian, because I'm a big proponent of parliamentary procedure and protocol, do either one of you all come with any experience from an organization deemed for parliamentarian? Would that be the NAP, National Association of Parliamentarians, or the American Institute of Parliamentarians? And that question is for both candidates for parliamentarian.
Thank you for that. Pamela Holmes, if you're on, I'll let you speak first. Ladies first, Freddie, and then we'll have Freddie Roberts to speak afterwards.
Thank you very much. I am a member of the National Association of Parliamentarians. I have been a member for the last 4 years. I am also a member of Gulf Coast Parliamentarians Unit. I've been a member of that organization for the last 3 years, and for the last 2 years, I have served as secretary. I am an affiliate member of Texas Triangle Parliamentarians Unit, and I am presently serving as on the Education Committee. So I do have criteria, and I am a member of those organizations. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Frederick Roberts.
I held membership. I have not been active in the organization in the last 5 years with the American Parliamentarian Association. I did work with the Houston area group, and I am currently fulfilling a requirement for mentorship with the National Parliamentarian Association. But my experiences as a parliamentarian from my college days and my participation in various training programs, I believe aptly qualifies me for the position.
All righty. Thank you, Mr. Roberts, for that response. Nicole Hall put a note in the chat. Greetings from Atlanta, Georgia. Thanks to all the candidates for sharing information about yourselves. It was good to see and hear from those of you I do not know and those that I do. Your willingness to serve and lead the NAA is much appreciated. Best wishes to all of you in pursuit of your elected positions. Have a good night. Are there any other questions? That was the only question that I see in the chat. Are there any other hands raised?
Vonda has her hand up.
Yolanda has her hand up.
Okay, thank you. Yolanda, please.
Hi, my candidates for the parliamentarian also. My question is, we have long meetings and we do have times set next to each person on the agenda. Without offending anybody, are you capable of keeping those times set and keeping our meeting under 3 hours? And if you are, how will you handle it?
I would, well, actually,
Is that parliamentarian or sergeant at arms?
that's a sergeant at arms duty, but the parliamentarian can intervene by letting the president know certain things that needs to happen. The parliamentarian is not supposed to watch the time or discipline members or talk to members. That's the sergeant at arms' responsibility to make sure that they maintain order. But the president will be advised and say because the president is the leader of the group, and the president has the authority to say, okay, your time is up, and move on. And that's the way I would handle it.
Ms. Pam, would you like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, I'm sorry. I would pull the coat of the president and just remind him that we are on a time schedule, and ask him if he could have the person speaking or what have you to wrap it up due to time constraints. And as Freddie said, the sergeant at arms is supposed to do that. The parliamentarian advises the president.
Are there any other questions? Thank you both for responding to that.
I have one
question in the chat.
One more after the chat.
Okay, thank you. So I see, so I'll let Dr. Philippa Evans speak, and then I will ask the question in the chat.
All right, thank you so much. I have a question for the president and the vice president candidates. There are so many things that need to be addressed or are on the agenda. What would be your first primary goal as far as leading the NAA? So just maybe a brief from the president and the vice president. What would be your foremost primary goal as you take office?
Yeah, that's a very good question. There are a lot of issues. I think for me, it's three things. One, we need to strengthen membership and what that looks like. Obviously, we have life and annual memberships, but how the relationship between membership is between the nationals and the locals needs to be strengthened, and we need to have codependencies, as I would call it. So kind of strengthening what a member is and establishing features and benefits of being a member, making that more noticeable to the members. You should know if you're a life member or if you're a annual member and what that entails you. If you don't know now, then we're not doing our job, right? So that's one. I think the second thing is vitally important is Dr. LeGrand has rolled out her Journey to Eminence 2035, right? And there's some certain things in it that deals with alumni and how alumni in the university will work together to perpetuate the outcomes of the university. So we need to be a big part of that. We need to get closer to that. We need to create goals and actions and plans and outcomes that relates to some of her goals in the Journey of Eminence. So that's the second item. Then the third item, which is probably the most important, we need to become a more financially viable organization that has significant or decent capital funds to do things, to have influence, right? We need, so, and I guess I won't go too long, but because I could start talking and won't stop, but we need to be financially viable in a more than what we are today. So that's the three most pressing issues that I think a lot of us would attack. I'll turn it over to Erica and let her offer her thoughts as well.
You know, one of the good things about Roosevelt and myself, we actually have talked. And so a lot of our visions and goals align together. But I would say that we are needing to bridge the gap between the NAA and the university. We are needing to get some cohesiveness between the NAA leadership and our members. And we're also needing to increase our membership. Although we're looking at a financial standpoint, great to have some numbers to increase for that reason. But we also need to increase because we just want more alumni engaged with what we're doing on the Alumni Association side and how we can better benefit our university. We're here because of Prairie View. We're not here because of identity of self. We're here because of unity and how we can build on what we've started over 100 years ago. So that would be three things that I'm looking at. It is to increase our membership. It is to bring some unity between us and the university. And it is also to bring some cohesiveness to our association from a leadership standpoint. Thank you.
You both. And then next we have a question from Nitra Rose. Hold on, just lost the question. Question for President and VP. What is your vision for the future for Prairie View A&M University, NAA, and how do you plan to increase alumni engagement and participation?
Another good question. Me and Erica have talked about this. Again, I think it goes to strengthening the relationship between the local chapters, national chapters. For example, we should be as national help advertise all the local activities that the local chapters do. We should set up where our membership, if you sign up for a membership at the national level, you should be able to sign up almost at the same time for a local membership where we can send that money directly to the local chapter, say on a monthly basis. Right now, it's kind of there's barricades between the two, right? You sign up you can sign up local and national at the local chapter, but for the most part, you can't do that to national. So we need to strengthen that. My overall vision is that we become like a single focused advocate for the university and everything we do, raising the spirit level, the pride level. We all have pride for our university, but we know something that's happening right now. Universities like Prairie View are being under attack from a national level, right? And then you have other universities that are coming after that student, our types of students that will traditionally go to Prairie View. So we have to really buckle down and become really a viable organization to allow, to support kind of like the visions of what Dr. LeGrand does, but also be a separate entity, like advocating for what us as alumni want to see the university do. So again, the other part would be more advocacy. We would participate in more local activities at the and we have to be careful about this in terms of working with local elected officials, but we can advocate for Prairie View with local officials, with state officials, with federal officials. Like, how many of you know who our federal representative is? He's one of the most powerful people, or he's definitely one of the richest people in Congress. But he has influence. If we grow a relationship with him, good or bad, if we grow a relationship with him, he should be able to help us in ways that we could benefit from. So I kind of went long, but I should turn to Erica, because also, Erica, we talk all the time, and the vision for me for the NAA, it's kind of like a best athlete approach. Yeah, I could potentially be the president. I hope to be the president, but we're going to take the best idea and the best rationale from anyone that's on the executive board and try and implement that. So it's not about me. It's about what's best for the Alumni Association. Erica, I'm sorry, I can't stop talking.
That is okay. One of the ways to increase alumni engagement is to let people have a voice. We so often think that the leadership is the only people that have a voice. That is not true. If you are a part of this alumni association, you have a voice. And we're here to, one, be an advocate. We're here to serve. We're here to provide. We're here to take your suggestions, and we're here and we also need your help, right? So that is one of the things how we can get our alumni engaged, is just being a voice and a listening ear. We don't have all the answers, but we're here to help bridge that gap and to listen and to say, this is what the alumni need. How can we help the university? We have students that need us. We have students that need us financially, but we have students that just need mentors, right? We have so many talented individuals in our alumni association that are just sitting dormant. How can we bring it out of you? And that's what we're needing. We needing you to help us as we help you, as we help the university.
Great, thank you. So we're going to take these last two questions. Actually, there's three in the chat. One is from Joanne G. Wade. We will actually have that question I'm not sure if Yvonne knows offhand how many life members we have, but we'll be sure to get that information for you. So we'll take the next two questions and then we will close out. But in the meantime, I have just sent out in the chat for our next town hall meeting. It was tentatively scheduled for the 20th. We want to make sure that that is conducive for all of the candidates. So we're asking everyone to be on the lookout for the first town hall meeting questions and answers. I just sent in the chat. If you have any questions you would like to ask any of the candidates, what their platform is, what their vision is, um, information regarding the finances. So send that email. We'll be able to address those. There will actually be two. So there will be one the week of the 19th and then the next one the week of the 26th, because we know everyone have a very busy schedule. So you may not be able to make one, but you'll be able to make the other. So we will check with all the candidates to see what schedule is more conducive for them, and you will be receiving that information. So the next question, what ideas, this is from Melissa, what ideas do you have for growing our financial resources? And I will let Yvonne take that question. And if anyone else want to share in, especially those that have been part of the National Alumni Association for the past year or two.
Yes, how grow our financial resources. I am now working on merchandise. We need a merchandise and sell Prairie View Alumni Association. It's like a hidden secret. How much merchandise have you seen? And we have a membership pretty big of, I have a database of at least 5,000. And how much of that 5,000 is advertising and logo and out? Name. So merchandise out in our name is one of the resources that we can bring in easy money to bring in selling merchandise. Also, I am written out the office. One of the things that I came in, I didn't understand is that they had a clause in the rental of the office. It was that they couldn't rent it on commencements, holidays, and something else. Those are the biggest days we can rent that place out. With four graduations on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I'm renting them out Friday, Thursday, and I'm double renting them out Saturday. I'm gonna pull a meeting out like Dallas does for the Texas high school football games. He does all 8 games in one day. That's what I'm gonna do. So if we can get that, and I'm gonna remodel the house, get the board approval on everything we do. Nothing's gonna be secretive. And that is going to be some great revenue. They used to rent it out before to the AFAs, to the Prairie View, Hempstead, Chambers of Congress. We used to rent that building out. We stopped, but that's what we're going to start again. That's going to be great revenue coming in. And like I said, merchandising and some other stuff. We do real good with the homecoming banquet. We're going to keep that up. My counterpart, Ms. Rose, is on this call. And so those are the great things. Like right now, we have a contingency right now, $40,000, and we're going to keep that up. And we're just going to open up the money market of our 101,000 that we're going to be adding money to that. So more stuff to come, but that's just the starting point.
Thank you for that, Yvonne. Anyone else want to chime in?
I will also say that it is very important that we get a fundraising team that can build on our fundraisers. We don't have to have multiple, but we need to have significant. So it is very important that we do get a team of dedicated and resourceful individuals that can help us build as well on some fundraisers.
Okay, thank you for that. Anyone else?
Yes, ma'am. May I?
Absolutely.
One of the things I learned when I was living in Los Angeles, and it particularly had to do with USC, University of Southern California. I was working with the 100 Black Men's Young Black Scholars. They had 3,000 students in metropolitan LA, and we rotated different schools for Saturday activities. Most of that campus was built by dead people. Then I found out a lot of their donations to alumni came from bequests. When I ran the NAACP in LA, Nothing made our CPA Norman Bullock happier than finding out somebody had, unfortunately gone on, but left some money to the association. The fundraisers, even the ones I'm familiar with the NAA in the past, and as well as several other organizations I've been affiliated with, often the fundraiser, there's so many expenses in it that there's not much left. And in these times that we're in, we certainly have to be cognizant of that. But for example, in my comprehensive will, I've got 6 figures going into my scholarship endowment at the university. If we have national set up to receive those kind of funds and a vehicle, which is what many of us use, that people need anyway. And just remember the NAA, in your estate planning. You've got children, family, and all of that. But whether it's $500, $5,000, or $50, depending on your situation, most of us are worth more gone than we are while we're here. But those are some of the kind of things we have to think. I don't want to say think outside the box. From a fundraising standpoint, what helped make us so successful, I work with our people to forget we had a box.
Mayor,
Forget limitations. What can we do to have fun, raise money, and then have it managed correctly? And that's why we chose the university. It's there and just continues to grow. But the NAA can set up those type of things with Black-owned banks, just whatever. But again, just something beyond the norm. And that was why, even though I was very active back in those days.
Mayor, I have to cut you off.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. I'm good. Thanks.
All righty. So I know with the financial talk, we can go on and on. So we have 2 minutes left. Again, I like to be mindful of everyone's time. So this last question is for President candidate Roosevelt.
Yeah.
And the last question was directed to him, and it was from Dwayne Martin. How do you plan on attracting more young alum, recent graduates? So again, everyone, as Roosevelt answers this question, we will have 2 town hall meetings, Q&A. So this will be your opportunity. Again, I put the chat, the email in the link for everyone to put their question in, so that we will be able to address a lot of these questions. And then we may need to get a sergeant at arms to make sure that everyone's response is 2 minutes or less. But I turn it over to you, Roosevelt.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good question, because that is definitely a demographic that we typically lack in the National Alumni Association. But did you know, like, all new grads for the first year get a free annual membership? And so how do we roll that out? We typically roll it out. The president gets up there, or he or she gets us, hey, new grads, you have a membership. New grads clap, they appreciate it, and then we all leave, and we have no way of getting their information. We don't get their names. We have no way of establishing that membership for the year with them. That's one thing we need to change, because obviously if you offer someone something, you need a way of establishing what that offer is, and so that they receive it, and then you could build, at least for the first year, activities that the young alumni can participate in. Now, we're also going to need a few engaged young alumni to help us plan those activities, like what those young alumni would like to do. But it could be, one of the things, it could be, why don't we just do meet and greets in different cities? Because as new grads, at least I know when I was a new grad and I moved to Kansas City, the best thing for me is I had 10 or 12 Prairie View folks that were graduating around the same time as I did, like within 3 years in Kansas City. So we kind of took it upon ourselves to do our own meet and greet. But what if you don't know as many people? What if we could facilitate that? Now you have new grads in different cities working together, They may join a local chapter. They get to know each other. Now you have some engagement on an early point. One more thing, tomorrow, before you cut me off. I know you're ready to press the button.
No. I'm good. I'm
What?
good. I just like to be
What?
mindful of everyone else's time. But
No,
please
I
go
am.
ahead. Answer.
One of the
No,
things,
we want to allow you to answer the question.
but the other thing is, there's two more things for engaging young alumni. The second piece is you have to engage alumni before, or new grads or new alumni before they become an alumni. So I've seen firsthand by me working with the Mechanical Engineering Advisory Committee how much influence I have as a representation of alumni being out in the industry or out, not at Prairie View, not at a football game. They see me, we talk about things, we talk about the reports, the projects, but also they're seeing how I'm trying to encourage them that this is what alumni do. Now, what if we had that at a more massive scale? We're asked all the time, I believe, to do that for different departments, but we, as alumni association in the past, have not been a very good conduit for that. So being a conduit to get the request in the hand of able alumni to help out the university with their time, that's another way. And then the third thing, this is a long range dream of mine. What I've always thought, and I have two daughters that went to Prairie View. It was pretty neat though. And this might be a longer discussion, longer explanation, but I'm gonna try to do it quickly. I had my oldest daughter went to Duke. And so we went to Duke. It was a week-long process. We had to drive up there. We got there. We moved in. That was a whole day itself. Then they had some gatherings. They had multiple gatherings. It was a week-long process. When I took my daughter to Prairie View, I got up at 8 a.m. that morning, got to the dorm. We unloaded her. She was out we were done by 11, 12. We went to lunch. 1:30, I'm back home in Cyprus. I'm like, wow, that was easy. But what I felt was missing is that we didn't, either as an alumni base or as a university, I don't know who covers this, there was no central regathering of all the students welcoming to the university. Not now, I know the university does it with the students, like they bring them to the dome and they all say welcome. But remember, when we're bringing students, we're also bringing their family into our family as alumni, even though they're not alumni, we're bringing them into our family. So we need a process of welcoming all of them. And when you do these steps, the welcoming, the participation in alumni or in, some of the programs, and then you establish in year one, or I'll wrap up in year one, the engagement. Now you start to build and engage young alumni that moves, each decade into being participating alumni. Sorry. Hopefully that was my long explanation and thoughts of how you build young alumni engagement. Sorry.
No worries. That was good. So just so everyone will know that the next two meetings will be 2 hour in length. So that way it would allow everyone to speak, to share their thoughts and not feel or be pressured to be rushed. I've taken a lot of the notes that was in the chat, and I'm just looking at a lot of the commentary and a lot of the information. And for all those that's commenting, for those that's on the call, and to let your fellow PVites know that we need you. I'm looking at all this information that's being shared and discussed. We need you to be a part. Yes, you pay your membership, but we also need for the activism to assist with putting the membership cards in the graduation seats, to getting the information out there. It takes more than just these candidates that's running for office. It takes more than just the president who's trying to manage everything on a monthly, daily, or weekly basis. So the takeaway is, be prepared, ask the questions, but also get involved, be active. And again, I will say, None of this can be done without finances. We cannot do this without finances. So I want to thank everybody for joining the call. The next meeting, again, has not yet been determined. One last thing, I believe Dale Roberson is on the line. Dale, are you there? Dale Roberson is running for a candidate for financial secretary. Dale, I don't have you muted, so just hit unmute. Dale Roberson. Okay, Dale. I do not have you muted. And I'm not sure if you're the phone number. However, Dale sent a message saying he was muted. So hopefully we'll be able to hear Dale's voice on the next town hall meeting. Again, I want to thank everyone for their time. Again, put in your questions in to PVU NAA nominations at PVAMU Houston, so that way we'll be able to address and answer any and all questions that you may have. And again, that meeting will be 2 hours in length from 7 to 9. And finally, we just want to make sure that it's conducive for all of the candidates so that you can hear from all of the candidates. And no question is on board. Let's see, there was 4 more messages here. All righty. So again, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for participating. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. But most importantly, thank you, candidates, for taking the charge for this endeavor. Many of you currently have positions within the NAA. Some of you are new, some of you are seasoned. But regardless, we want to thank you in advance for putting your name in the slate. And until next week, have everyone have a wonderful and blessed night. Thank you. I should have had some music playing.
Have a great meeting. Great meeting. Thank you. We'll meet again soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Good one.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Yvonda. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Alicia. Freddie, Pam,
If you just kill it,
Eureka.
everyone to drop off.
Huh?
I said, if you just end it, everyone will drop off.
Oh, I was just waiting. I still
okay.
had it on mute. I'm having the calls come in now.
You stop the recording? Tamar, stop the recording for me.